to get off their darkest ground.
Yes.
But gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers to see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down, down. Clear sky.
We're there.
Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome back to Movie Night. We are here and we are live, and there's only a few of us here this evening. I'm waiting to see if we get more panel members here, but in the meantime, we're going to get started with what we've got. So let's say hello to our panel this evening. We've got RJ with us.
Hello. We'll attempt to make up in volume what we lack in volume.
There you go. I think so. We'll try at least. We also have Bionic Dance with us today.
Hello, how are things?
Things are going. How are things for you?
Oh, fairly decent, especially since I have a nice purring orange kitty on my lap.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love kitties around here. So glad to have you here with us today. Thank you very much. All right. And I'm just checking out the live chat here. Bear with me one second. Okay. Yeah, the Kitsune Cavalier says up here in jolly New England, weekend has blizzard that just ended in Boston. Well, I'm glad it finally ended, but I'm sure you got dumped on quite a bit of snow. So we're glad you guys are here with us this evening, and yeah, we'll get started and see if anybody else joins our lovely panel. They're gonna miss out on some of our wonderful videos that we have, so I'm sure they'll be so upset to miss those.
Their brainstem and neurons will be happy, but not their humor.
Exactly. All right, so let's pull up our wheel here. We've got a variety of things. We've got Bot in the live chat. Hold on one moment. Hide.
Love face, egad.
Yeah, we get those every week.
Pseudo Mars. Photo.
Alrighty,
Photos.
there we go. Alrighty, so we've got meteorologist, we've got pseudo, we've got Mars, we've got unseen, and we've got photos. And I don't think I'll tell you what the titles of each of those are. I think we'll wait until we get them.
I like to put all the stories together, so I want to see the photos of the pseudo Mars that are unseen.
the unseen photos of pseudo Mars.
Yeah. The photos of unseen pseudo Mars meteorology.
There you go.
Studio Mars. I don't know.
Right.
You realize that if you took segments from each one of the videos and arbitrarily edited them together, their information content would be comparable to the ones we typically watch uncut.
Yeah, pretty much, or better. It might even.
Better, yes, they might accidentally get a kind of wacky continuity that some of them miss.
Exactly. All right. Well, shall we spin our wheel? Who would like to do our incantation since we're lacking a tornado?
Oh dear. Well, nobody. Tornado alone can give it the proper verve, the
Yeah.
proper enthusiasm. But I will go turn,
All right.
turn, wheel spin
Uh,
thing.
Wheel of stupidity, whirl, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So was the idiot who's a total douche. I don't know.
That sounds
That'll
good.
do. That'll do.
That works. All right, here we go.
Spin it. Do OEA OEO.
Tailspin. All right, meteorologist.
Bang, 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 bang.
All right. This one is a little
Meteorologist.
lengthy, I believe. So let's see how
is this
this
gonna be
goes.
about clouds or meteors?
Let's see. This one, so this one's called, let me pull it up here. Where'd it go? There it is. This one is Meteorologists for Sale by Madison Star Moon. Madison Star Moon is another just complete conspiracy theory person. She believes every conspiracy out there.
For sale.
So is
So-
this like what climate change isn't real, you bastards kind of video?
Oh, well, that should be amusing.
Let's see here. All right. Okay. I'm just getting the video pulled up here. Bear with me one moment. Uno momento, por favor. Only the one. Okay. Ta-da! Alright. Now, normally most of her videos are shot in vertical mode, so this one,
Most buzzers.
yeah. And, you know, like I said, she believes in all of the different hoaxes and conspiracy theories as far as chemtrails and 5G, you know, death towers.
So I'm
and
sure there'll be oodles of science in it.
yes, all of the science. Oh, dear. All right. I know it's going to be painful, but
Yeah. What if I only want to rent a meteorologist rather than buy them?
it might be
Are they
cheaper,
for
you
lease?
know?
What,
Yeah.
like for children's parties?
The
Yeah.
used meteorologist store, you know, go in there, pick up one that's kind of been damaged, you know.
Oh, my goodness.
Get a ding and dent sale.
Right.
Of course, they lose half their IQ as soon as you drive them off the lot.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah. But you know, there's nothing like that new meteorologist smell.
All right.
For stalling, I know.
I know. All right. Here we go, guys. Let's get started.
Things being done covertly, I agree 100% on that. So, I mean, I can't comment on anything that the military might or might not be doing. That's not what I went to school for. Hello, and thank you for calling.
Can I help you?
Hi, yes, may I please speak to a meteorologist?
Can I ask who's calling?
This is Amanda Bays,
Where are you calling from?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Are you a client of ours?
A client? No.
Okay, because only clients can speak to meteorologists directly.
So you have to pay to speak to a meteorologist. Okay, well, do you have someone there that I can speak to about the conditions here in Hampton Roads?
Unfortunately not. Like I said, you have to be a client to speak with someone directly.
How do I
You
become a
can check out-
client? That's interesting.
You can go to our sales department if you would like.
Who is this
Sure, send me to your
person
sales
calling?
Sure, just 1 second.
Oh, this is Rich.
Hi, this is Liz. How can I help you?
Hi.
I believe she's just calling her local like news station. If it sounds like it, at least.
Yeah, although I think that a news station would not really be talking about like clients.
Yeah.
that
Sounds
doesn't
like
make
maybe
sense.
what is there like a place where you can get like the inside scoop on the weather if you're like on a server or something. I think she would have needed to have identified who she's calling to find out whether or not any of this means anything.
Yeah, the whole thing about the client made me think that there was some sort of like she was calling I don't know, like a private research facility or some crap. I don't know.
That could be.
It would make a difference, but am I getting the impression that that kind of corroborative, informative detail is not going to be forthcoming?
I have a feeling.
Okay. I'll set my sights, my little limbo bar really low.
All right. We got Chris with us tonight. Hello, Chris Kelling. How are you doing?
Chris!
Seems all flights are canceled. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about dispatching any cabs tonight. So
Yeah, probably not.
still
Are
at
you-
work, but hey, yeah.
Right. Are you staying safe and warm today?
Yeah, ended up doing 2 rounds of snow blowing.
Oh boy.
But it
I
ended
don't know.
up being
Leave your
like
personal
2
life
hours.
out of it.
It ended up being about
But the
2
snow
hours.
had a smile on its face.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right. Well, we're just watching some Madison Star Moon here, meteorologists for sale. So that's always fun. You know, she's always a winner. All right. Well, let's continue.
Have to get some science in.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get that soon.
Yes, I was calling to get some information on how to become a client.
Okay, and what type of service were you looking for?
I wasn't aware that you had any services, so I guess we could start there. What is a basic service and how much does it cost?
What kind of business are you in?
I'm just a civilian citizen. Is there a public number?
No. No, our meteorologists are business-based.
I need to speak to somebody because some stuff's been going down here in Hampton Roads. So I just, is there
$250 to start.
$250? Okay.
Yeah.
And then
To
that
speak
would,
with a meteorologist.
okay, so what is it, $250 a month?
Oh no, that's for a consultation service.
Oh my gosh, so it costs $250 just for a one-time?
Yes. So they have to sit there for an hour or two to do the exact. It's technical. How can I help you?
Hi, yes, are you a meteorologist?
I used to be. Now I'm their IT, but I can do both.
Okay, so my name's Amanda Bays, and I live in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and we have been overcast for over a month now. And I was just wondering if you can explain to me why we've been
Overcast
overcast
my
for a
ass.
month.
All right. I had to pause it there for a moment, but yeah. I feel like that's
She's
not as
moved to
much of
Seattle. It
a
can be overcast almost all the time.
right.
Yeah, I spent 20 years in Seattle. That is not overcast. I mean, I'm sorry, it may be mostly cloudy, but that is not overcast by any
Right.
stretch. Also, maybe it's
So
just
perhaps
the
in the
weed talking,
gloomy,
but has
dismal
anyone
world
else
that
been
she
seeing
lives in.
faces in those clouds?
No,
Is that a sun dog I see over there?
no faces, but hello, Tornado. And then we had Chris Kelling with the hand up.
Yeah, I was
What all
thinking
did I
this
miss?
while the I was thinking about this while the video was playing,
Mhm.
and this is a good spot to stick this. Now,
That's what she said.
anyway, the meteorologist, actual, honest to good meteorologist, there's a degree in that
Mhm.
that requires a lot of math, and it's not an easy course of study. And
Yeah.
so I had to cackle when the person said, "Oh, it's a bunch of technical stuff."
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't know, like I said, we don't know where she's calling. She doesn't specify, but you know, people's time is worth something. So, you know, if she's calling a business and wants to speak with somebody who does something for a living, it's going to cost money generally. You know, it looks like I don't know
So
how
$250
yeah.
for consult
It sounds
fee
It does
isn't
like-
that
seem a little unfair. A lot of places like
Mhm.
that deal primarily with businesses will charge consult fees, like this
Mhm.
gateway fee just to talk to somebody, and it's really unfair if you're not like a multinational
Mhm.
conglomerate.
Yeah.
It sounds like this might be some sort of company in which the meteorologist can advise your business about things that you might need to worry about in terms of impending climate or farming or whatever else that you do, and you have to pay for that privilege,
Right.
which is a questionable maybe activity because they could probably get a lot of this stuff through their state agricultural boards or whatever else. I don't know. But since she doesn't identify the source as to what's going on, it's just her grumping about the overcast. What does she expect anybody to come in and say, like, make the sun come out? Maybe she needs to sacrifice somebody to the sun god.
Right.
Wouldn't
Well,
you
see,
want to
I-
sacrifice somebody to the cloud god?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, if the sun god and the cloud god have a strong union, you know. It may be kind of difficult to pull that off.
When a mommy son and a daddy cloud
Love each other very much.
very much.
Anyway.
So maybe clouds are just, you know, like a sun spittle or something, you know, that's clouds up the space. You know, maybe we need a whole new world of climatology, which I'm sorry, we're stalling again, but
Yes.
we're trying our best to keep this video from moving forward.
The thing is, I almost thought one person's like, well, they sit there and thought they were going to go into like what's the word when they're remote viewing. They're going to try to psychically determine the weather, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be.
You're saying you can't do that?
Tornado, you had your hand up as well.
My dad was a meteorologist, and I think he would have some more to say about this. What are we watching?
So this is Madison Star Moon, and this one is called Meteorologists for Sale.
Yeah.
No.
And the other thing too, like so then she makes a second phone call, and she, you know, asks this guy, "Are you a meteorologist?" So like, did she just look in the phone book for somebody? Like,
she's working her way down through the meteorologist. Yeah.
What is a phone book?
It's
yes,
what is this phone book?
That's an ancient
It's a booster
scribal
seat.
thing that was used in the pre-cell phone period
Right.
to find out people who probably can't help you.
And then
course.
there's this thing called Yellow Pages, and
I
that
know.
wasn't because they were aged or anything like that. So
They were purposefully yellow.
They were all run by William Randolph Hearst. See, I can do conspiracy thinking too.
Oh man, I remember. I mean, we used to mostly use the yellow pages because I'm short, so we would use the yellow pages or the phone book for a booster seat. It was good for
We
that.
used ours for spider smashing.
That works too. Yep, that'll be another use for them. But
that's
now,
like taking a two-handed sword to kill him.
Well, mind you, this was Vermont. The phone book was smaller than the Sears catalog.
oh wow. Oh.
Yeah, but still, I mean, those yellow page books can get kind of big.
Hefty.
You know, if you have an 8-person town and 200 ads. I mean, that's all the yellow pages was a way to get the telephone companies more money. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, the
All
other
right.
prospect is she has found these meteorologists by like YouTubing.
Yeah, that could be too. Could have just Googled it. Could have done a couple of different things here. But
In which case, Ryan Hall, y'all, would be a much better source for your meteorology woes.
well, shall we get started
Yeah, see if
and
we get any
continue on
background
here?
pictures other than the stock footage.
Yeah. Oh, this is her cell phone footage, I believe.
Oh, yes. Is this the level of overcast that she's talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I
yep.
assumed so.
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, she has a low bar.
She
And
videos
does she
everything.
have any empirical proof or just kind of anecdotal evidence?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get any empirical proof or anything like that. But let's see what we got here. We'll continue on.
Maybe she'll get some science in there.
No.
Whoa.
There's no quick answer. I mean, as far as cloud coverage and all that stuff, we don't track, like statistically, like the percentage of cloudy days. I mean, it's stuff you can probably look up.
Clouds, it's chemtrails.
Does she actually believe that?
I mean, there isn't any big major weather pattern that is causing anything like that. Are you talking like the seasonal, like?
I'm talking about our skies have been completely covered, which I have documented through video footage for the past month, and even longer than that. And I also would like to point out
Hope you
that
have
I have
dates and
personally
times on that,
witnessed
too.
fleets
Yeah.
of aircraft emitting garbage in the sky, which turns into artificial cloud cover, creating
There she
artificial
goes.
overcast conditions. And I want to hear from a meteorologist.
Yes, Tornado.
Okay, you want to hear from a meteorologist? I'm a meteorologist's son, and that triggers the bill. It means exactly as much as your credentials, but at least I have some backing for what I'm about to say. You see, when you start burning fuel, you release these little particles. These little soot particles, because even an airplane's combustion isn't exactly incomplete. There's little stuff that gets emitted out the engine. After all, that's how you get thrust. After all, that's how you get thrust. While it may be nearly complete, it's not totally complete, so there's still going to be stuff left over. And water droplets will nucleate around those little soot particles. And in the temperatures and pressures that are, well, I should say mostly temperatures, of the stratosphere, those water droplets will quickly condense and they will freeze, resulting in clouds. That's all a contrail is. It's a cloud.
Yeah. Well, she seems to be under the impression that they're artificial clouds made by chem shit dropped by the planes, so... Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say they're chemtrails in a sense, in that water is the main chemical that makes up the stuff, along with soot particles and whatnot, which allows those water droplets to form and can nucleate and condense and freeze. Gee, it's almost as if there's a scientific explanation for all this.
Well, clearly those soot particles are full of a chemical that was in the fuel that is used to do whatever the hell weirdness she thinks happens with chemtrails.
Yeah.
I know more about this than she does, and that's sad.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's always chemtrails with her. It always goes back to chemtrails. Well, let's see what else we got. Maybe she'll get to her proof here soon.
Yeah.
An excuse worthy for me to accept of why naturally the sky is like this, other than what I've witnessed myself, which is fleets of aircraft emitting garbage in the sky, which is creating this condition.
You know, planes fly a lot, so why
We don't
isn't
have any
all of our
relationship
air
with the
that
military
way?
at all. There's no relationship at our office, so we have no clue, if such a thing was occurring. They don't ever communicate with that with us.
Greek.
Right, but I didn't mention...
Yes, Tornado?
She says he suddenly blames the military in that little thing.
Yeah.
Did you notice the words that came out of his mouth? We're not related to them.
Yeah.
He did not blame the military for anything. You lying piece of shit.
Well, we don't even know who he is, so we can't
Yeah.
determine whether or not he might be an idiot.
Right.
Here's the thing. My
Well,
dad...
he even said that he's an IT guy, he's a meteorologist too, but his main function, wherever she's calling, seems to be infotech.
Remember that idea that I had about arbitrarily editing all of this stuff together to make like an incoherent mess? I think she's already done that.
The thing is, she said he blames the military, where he said we have no relationship with them at all. So she misrepresented what he said. She strawmanned him.
Probably won't be the last
of lying.
time.
All
Well,
right.
it
this
might be
episode
if he
tells my
hangs
Mountain
up
Dew.
on her.
Oh, that's true. Let's see what else we got here.
in the military. I just want you to...
Or aircraft, is it rather. I mean, I've surfed down at Virginia Beach the last couple of, the last month and a half, a few days. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, I had some sun in the morning, and then driving back to work, it definitely got really cloudy.
It got cloudy because of the aircraft emissions. I witnessed this. I document this. I have all the footage. And,
we
I
looking at
find it
that
very
now?
disheartening that when I go to the authorities,
Correlation is
the
not
proper
causation.
quote-unquote weather authorities, they do absolutely
she
nothing
be
about
showing
it. We're
that
not getting
now?
sun. We're not getting photosynthesis.
I
We're
think
not
she
getting the
thinks she
sunlight
is
that our
showing it
bodies
now.
need. The
Ooh,
aircraft emissions
boy.
that are spraying
Look
out
at
in the
that
Rewind
overcast.
that shit, please, because people were talking over her.
Well,
I didn't get
Yeah.
No, I mean, she's there's chemtrails allegedly, contrails up there. plus the overcast, she thinks this is the evidence, clearly.
Can you rewind that? Because I didn't get to hear any of what she said because people were talking over her.
I can slightly, but yeah, I mean I don't think we missed a whole significant amount anyway. But let me get to Chris real quick. What's up, Chris? Chris?
Yeah, face palm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I had a salient point. I just don't remember what it is.
Alrighty, no worries.
Don't get old, people.
That's all right.
Yeah, so it's possible she thinks that's a hazy, cloudy environment.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's never seen Seattle.
Yes, Chris.
Okay, I wish Sparrow was on, or Shadow was on, because they live in LA, or in that area. They have something called smog.
Right.
Okay, or used to. It has been as bad as it was.
I remember the old smog in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you could be up on the mountain, look down in LA, and see all the smog. Literally see the smog.
Oh, well, in Ontario, which is not even in metropolitan Los Angeles, it's quite a ways east. This would be like in the 1960s.
Really?
There's like a 10,000-foot mountain, Mount Baldy, that's right to the north of where Ontario is, and it was invisible almost all the time. And then one day the Santa Anas blew in and blew the smog clean, and shit, there's a mountain up there.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is what she's showing there would take more airplanes than there are, doing a lot more flying than there's being done to actually have that kind of quantity.
Right.
Well, but she thinks that they're seeding those clouds with the contrails, with the chemtrails. She thinks that like the chemtrails themselves are somehow attracting clouds, I guess.
I want to hear what this
My
woman
brain hurts.
Yeah. All right. Well, I went back about 10 seconds or so, so we'll start back from there.
The proper quote-unquote weather authorities, they do absolutely nothing about it. We're not getting sun. We're not getting photosynthesis. We're not getting the sunlight that our bodies need. The aircraft emissions that are spraying out into the sky, I watch them as they start off as a line. Drink.
Yes, Chris. I think I had Chris first.
We don't
on that
have
one.
a bunch of Pegasus up there to control the clouds. The weather is not the weather department. The weather is people who observe the weather and report on it. What are they going to do?
Well, I mean, you'd
Yes,
think
another
that
Brony
these
reference, by the way.
meteorologists would have a hotline to Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since we can see the sun in the clips that she's putting up, somehow I doubt photosynthesis has suddenly stopped. If that were the case, there should be evidence that like everybody's lawns and trees are keeling over and all of that. I think we would have had more people calling up the newspapers on that one.
And there's plenty of like foliage in Seattle, and there is way less sun than we are seeing in these clips.
Yeah. How does my niece's garden grow with all that sun blocked off by those foggy clouds? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh dear. Tornado.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can see the sun, your point is moot. You can see the sun through the clouds. Bitch, you're just lying.
Yeah.
Well, or just charitably, we could say she's an idiot.
Yeah, that's true.
Is this the same woman that you said that there were directed energy weapons being used in the California wildfires?
I don't remember offhand.
Oh no, that was Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's from Georgia.
No, I meant YouTube. It was a YouTube.
Oh well,
video where
the stuff circulates around in there. Who knows?
Someone-
Maybe we'll get that later in the video.
it was a
Right.
chick that said that homes disappeared because of directed energy weapons rather than fire.
Yeah, okay.
I
Were
think
these
this is
the secret
Movie.
Jewish space lasers?
Yeah. You can tell they're telling because all of them are circumcised.
Right.
Oh dear. All
I
right.
know. I think it was a little suspicious when the military was starting up Operation Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
you can't go by circumcision anymore because, well, I'm Christian and
Yeah.
Well, I was from an era when kids just generally got circumcised when they were, and so even though not Jewish here, but nonetheless, I thought everyone came out that way. But I was quite shocked when I learned later on that was not the standard.
oh yeah.
Well,
Same
I was
here.
watching Westworld a little while ago, and that is a lot of naked people on that show. And one of them was a British dude who had not been snipped or clipped, and I was like, ew.
Yeah, what a weird thing to do. You know what? Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah.
why is that even a thing? I mean, some people
What,
might say, "Oh,
circumcision?"
forced circumcision
Yeah.
is wrong," but I never understood it because I thought I wasn't circumcised. It turns out I was, but quite frankly, I think it's better for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
And
To
now
each.
for after we be talking the bris moment in our discussion of the climate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we
Back to
go.
the video.
Into cloud cover.
Now, how high up are these aircraft that you're saying? Are you talking like the kind that's high enough where you can't hear them, like jetliners, or are we talking like military?
I'm talking about fleets of aircraft going in every single direction, making X's, grids, doing U-turns,
Playing
doing circles,
tic-tac-toe.
laps. I mean, these are commercial jets, military
Drink.
jets.
Yes, tornado.
You'll notice there's conditions that would be conducive to cloud formation that she is currently filming. The sky is most likely got large amounts of humidity, and also it's probably warm where she's filming right now. Because in conditions that are like warm and humid, you'll find that clouds are much easier to form than in conditions that are cool and dry. And the clouds tend to stick around longer. So maybe that's a clue as to why your chemtrails are sticking around longer, you fucking moron.
Is it possible she doesn't get out much?
Quite possible.
Well, that'd be strange because she's pretty out there.
Well, that's
Yes,
true.
that's true. Yeah, just out on the mental limb. But I'm thinking like
Yeah.
out in the world where she actually would know what a sunny day and a cloudy day look like, and something that would be able to measure things back and forth to realize that not all the phenomena to the alleged fleets of aircraft are actually due to that.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, Bionic, because I mean, Carl Sagan would travel billions upon billions of miles in his mind. So,
All right. Let's see here. Sorry, my window went
How
away.
much time
There
do
go.
we have left for her to bring the science in?
Oh, we've still got like 9 whole minutes.
Ooh,
Yowza.
well then, clearly she'll have
Yowza.
ample opportunity for that.
She this whole video is about 15 minutes long. She goes on this
I'm sure we'll get the footnotes at the end.
yeah. All right. Well, let's see here what else we got.
Jets with no identifiable markings on them, jets that show up on flight radar, jets that don't show up on flight radar. I mean, this
she,
is absurd.
Telescope
And
used
I
them?
believe it's a crime against humanity, what's going on. I believe this
how
is
does she
weather
know
warfare.
that they're showing up
I
on radar?
want
or
an
not?
answer from a meteorologist.
You know,
Because she
I
has a little,
always drink
she has a
coffee when I
radar
watch
set on her
radar.
stove.
Yeah. Yes, tornado.
Oh, yeah, it's a crime against humanity for clouds to form.
Yeah.
Also
I
asked
think
and
we
answered.
want them to form.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Jeez.
why does she think that this is a job for meteorologists?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Because
know
she
she
wants
thinks
to
it's
harangue
affecting the
somebody.
weather, but it seems like there ought to be some other branch of science that deals with like chemicals being dumped in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, if she had such a problem with aerosols being dumped in the air, here's the thing. If she thought they were poisoning humanity, they wouldn't get very far, because think about what's at the top of the stratosphere. Think about what's towards the stratosphere. The ozone layer, which means
Right.
ultraviolet light can get in there and break down the chemicals. And if they're being aerosolized, they're so small that they'll just ride on the currents aloft. They won't do much.
Oh, but Tornado, you're operating under the hilarious concept that she's going to be paying attention to the actual constituents of the atmosphere.
Well, true. This woman is dumber than a
Are
box
they
of
voting
rocks.
constituents?
This woman is dumber than a box of rocks that have been shaken up and told ask again later.
Right.
It's like I know more about this than she does, and I've barely studied any meteorology in my life. I'm a weather weed. Somehow I know more about this than some.
But it's
total-
clear she wants to harangue somebody, and the
Yeah.
poor hapless schnook on the other end of the phone gets her spleen vented.
You know what I found out about Magic 8 Balls? They have a D20 in there.
Yeah.
Almost makes me want to break it out and use it for my next campaign, you know?
It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't
Wait, you're
actually
serious?
have
They have a D20 in there.
I don't have a magic 8 ball, but I do have a sarcastic 9 ball, which is basically the same thing, only much snarkier and yellow.
And it
I
has,
gotta
what,
see
a
this.
100-sided die in there instead of a
No,
20-sided
no,
die?
it's the same 20-sider. It's just much snarkier than an 8 ball.
I didn't realize they had a 20-sided die in there.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there goes the magic 8 ball. It's not so much magic; it's a D20.
Right.
I actually did see someone like break the shell casing off of it, and it's like this funky little translucent tank that almost looks like a die itself.
Oh dear.
Jeez, I wonder if you could make it mate with a lava lamp.
All right.
What
Well,
would the
Yeah,
offspring
maybe
look like?
maybe the lava lamps are causing all of the chemtrails.
yeah.
Or
Well-
maybe the stuff that's in the lava lamps is what's also in the chemtrails. But the
Yeah.
only way to actually use it is to combine it with a plasma ball.
Oh, and maybe in this flat Earth thing that we're living inside a giant lava lamp.
There you go.
Well, see, we got
Once
the
the
Tesla
mind
coils
becomes
that
untethered,
make
you know.
music, right? Yeah.
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 Oh dear. All right. Well, let's continue on.
Yeah. See
We've
whether or not she
Totally
says something
gone off
new.
the rails, I know. But
Yeah. That's nothing new though.
Sense to me.
It's going to be a quick shot tomorrow. You're going to get some clearing into Sunday into Monday. You should get some sunny skies. out
Oh,
of
so
it.
sunny skies for 2 days out of 30. I mean,
Well,
that's...
you know, your weather does usually come from the west to the east, and I'm looking at weather that's coming at you from the southwest right now.
I mean, but do you guys actually, when you're doing your weather forecast, can you see the airplane emissions, that are going across the sky? Because I can see them with my bare eye. I can see them from my airplane when I'm looking
Right.
down.
Wow!
oh God!
We await her monograph.
I'm surprised he's so tolerant
It's a
with
clear
her.
day on a satellite.
Mhm.
Okay, so like we can see a forest.
Well, we don't know
fire.
how long the
Clear weather.
conversations went on. She
Somebody
could be
lights a
edited.
forest fire. Let's say they set a couple hundred acres on fire. We can see that on invisible satellite imagery. Somebody lights a forest fire. Let's say they set a couple hundred acres on fire. We can see that on invisible satellite imagery. And then
Why'd she
anytime
slow
any
that
other
down?
clouds get in the
What the
way,
hell's
then
with the
they're being blocked.
computer
So
voice?
If it was a completely clear day, we
Make them
occasionally
sound
see
more
contrails from
suspicious.
aircraft, but they're moving. Those contrails
Yeah,
are
now it sounds
moving a lot
more
quicker than the satellite imagery is really designed.
Oh, look how
Uh-oh.
overcast
Okay,
it
now you
is.
use the term
Rather
contrail. What does
not
that mean?
overcasty. Yes, I was just noticing that. That seems kind of like bright sunny skies with occasional tiny filaments of clouds that are
Yeah.
obviously
Ferris
causing
wheel.
death spews in the heavens.
And a Ferris
Yeah.
wheel for dessert.
Oh, and you notice how I was mentioning a couple hundred acres of forest fire and using that to sort of blame. She was basically trying to set up a straw man again.
Why
Mhm.
are you reading this guy?
Seriously, woman. Seriously, if you have a satellite video, think about how far away that satellite footage is. And think about how far away Himawari 8 is. Do you get where that is? It's located in geostationary orbit. And so is GOES 16, which is what is currently servicing the United States and South America side. You're not going to see contrails from geostationary orbit.
Yeah.
It's like, which is... it's like, what's a contrail? Like, it's when it's submitted, it's like a couple dozen feet wide, maybe. Yeah, it spreads out over time, and then you might catch a glimpse of it. But generally, when you're looking at a satellite image, it's going to be at geostationary orbit, which means things that have a much smaller resolution will not show up. God, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right. Well, let's
Madison,
continue.
Okay,
you
well, so
ignorant
far we
slut.
haven't gotten any new information from her.
No.
Anyone want to make book about the likelihood that that's going to happen in the remaining time?
I
Yeah,
think she's gonna keep blathering about the same things in different ways.
Are
probably.
you
Different
suggesting
poor
a gong
schnooks
here?
who are trying to explain something to this person, and at some point it suddenly dawns on them who they're dealing with, and you can see their eyes rolling and figuring out, oh God, how can we get this conversation to
Yeah.
stop?
Well, and what do you want to bet? Like, I don't know how much time there is left, but this guy finally tells her to piss off, so she calls another meteorologist.
Exactly, yes. And edits out the parts where maybe they are giving her a piece of their mind.
Okay, so do I hear a proposal for a gong on this?
No
Ooh,
gong.
Yeah. Or jump ahead 5 minutes, and if she's still going on in the same shtick, then yeah, gong it.
Yeah.
I just have
I
to
like to
say,
torture you all. No gongs. No.
I just want to say,
We said gong with a G.
Um,
Just
Jane,
like
you
the
ignorant
little lady
slut.
at the Ig Nobel Prize Awards, who the little girl that's assigned that when somebody's speech goes on a little too long, she goes, "Stop now! I'm bored."
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's jump ahead a little bit. We're at 6.5 minutes, so
Please.
let's jump to like the 10-minute mark, maybe.
See if we're going to be shocked with her insights.
Oh, look, airplanes.
Oh, look at that. That looks like a formation.
Ah, dear.
Or
Fleets of
plane with
aircraft.
more.
Here, we'll go back to about here. All right, that sounds good. Here we go.
We'll agree to disagree on this certain topic, but I think that there are other things that they're doing that I would be personally more concerned about.
Can you see what they're doing above the artificial cloud cover?
Now,
Artificial cloud cover.
You get multiple cloud layers. When you actually have weather, like let's just say there is weather that's creating some of the clouds, then the satellite, you're seeing a series of layers. And remember, those aircraft are moving way faster than the satellites are designed to snap pictures of. That's the other problem. We will agree to disagree on this particular event, but I will agree with you
Wow,
that there
a
are
clear sky and
things
2
being done
planes fly.
covertly. I agree 100% on that.
And there we have a
you know,
four-engine jet.
Wait,
that's
back it up. You were saying something about agreeing.
Yeah, they agree to disagree on.
It sounds like he was beginning to understand what she was talking about and was trying to find a way to artfully get off of this horrifying experience.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. It almost sounded like he was buying her bullshit, except just not in this particular instance.
It seemed like he was saying, I don't really agree that the airplanes are doing what you're saying, but the military, he says, it sounds like he said at least, that the military does do some covert things, which, yes, I'm sure they do.
Well,
They don't just announce all of their dealings, but I went back a little bit here, so let's listen in here.
The satellites are designed to snap pictures of. That's the other problem. We will agree to disagree on this particular event, but I will agree with you that there are things being done covertly. I agree 100% on that. I just, that's what is impacting you personally.
Yeah. Is there some way for you guys to test the atmosphere for heavy metals and chemicals that may be being added without our consent?
Yes, Tornado.
You know the thing about heavy metals? They're heavy. You know what happens? That's deep level, that's not heavy metal. The thing is, if she's going on about aerosols, you know what contrails do? They stay in the atmosphere. Even if there were heavy metals in there, they would basically be diluted into nothingness. You notice how heavy metals that don't typically come into contact with humans don't do anything bad because they haven't come in contact with humans? Gee, I wonder if there's something like winds aloft that could push little particles around and thus dilute them into harmlessness. It seems like a wild thought, I know. I'm just basing it off like 100 years of solid evidence.
Right. Oh dear. Well, yeah, she's you know, full-blown conspiracy theorist here, but RJ?
Oh, I got deep purple running through my head.
Now, there's heavy metals in the atmosphere, according to our Miss Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
Does it occur to her that she might want to test that herself? I mean, couldn't she put out like a little cat bowl and expect the heavy metals to fall down into them and maybe take them in and measure them or do something with them? Or is she only saying that they're the lighter heavy metals that are occurring and they get blown around? I mean, I think at this point, a model is needed for her to explain what the heck she thinks is going on. But yeah, I think we're way past that.
I think you're also giving her way too much credit. Like, I don't think she'd ever think of any of those things. Like, I doubt she knows that you even can self-detect heavy metals. Like,
Right.
I doubt she even knows that. I think she expects that you have to, like, launch a drone or a satellite or have
Space
some sort
satellite.
of
You can
special
only detect-
chemicals
Yeah,
that you
you
can
got
wave
your
around on the end of a stick, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
gotta
don't
shoot
think
5G
she
beams up
really
into the
knows
atmosphere.
anything at all about heavy metals in any way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. All
Maybe
right.
that's what Project Bluebeam is all about. You gotta shoot the 5G beams up in the atmosphere to detect the heavy metals.
So should meteorologists be getting more hazard pay because they have to answer telephone calls like this lady?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I can guarantee that the receptionist or whoever answered the phone probably got a good talking to.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Don't you vet these people?
Yeah. Let's continue on and see what else we get here.
Who's munching?
Yeah, someone is like.
We don't have any
sorry,
chemists
that's
here.
me.
That's problem number one. Problem number two is even if we could get a chemist to come out here to get an accurate sample would be really hard. See, I don't even know if airborne chemists can they'd have to probably fly an aircraft through it. See, when you drop something, let's say you're in an aircraft that's 1,000 feet up and it drops something out, that's going to fall over several miles. That's another problem. And what about, not the EPA, what about something like, I want to say like Surf Rider Foundation, but they're more than the oceans. That would be the other thing.
Well, I need somebody within the government with a chase plane that's willing to test these emissions for us and come back with an actual sample and give us a genuine answer. I mean, this is ridiculous that, I mean, I'm just one person. I shouldn't have to, you know, I track planes.
Have you talked to them?
Greenpeace does not test air emissions. DEQ does not test air emissions. They do not test for heavy
Well,
metals
now we know
and
the
chemicals.
world she lives
like,
in.
they will test for other stuff, but not
Okay,
the heavy metals
drink-
and biological material.
Drink.
Yes.
I think I figured something out there. If Greenpeace is saying you're crazy, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
I mean-
safe assumption.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you
like
think they would
being-
have an incentive to go with her if there was any weight to her view, because this would be a cause celeb and so forth and so on. But
yeah, I mean,
she's got
like
video.
PETA, it'd be like PETA telling you, "Oh, wow, you really love animals." I mean,
Yeah.
in that way.
Oh dear. All
Oh
right.
yes, PETA, the same people that operate a shelter that kills 97% of the animals they receive.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's continue on.
I'm sure we'll get to the science.
Yeah.
That's what we're concerned about.
Another one, what I'm thinking, the Audubon Society, but they're pretty much only...
And the Sierra Club and all that. These are all fluff. You know, they do their little part, but they don't deal with this. What I'm dealing with is a clandestine spraying operation. That's probably some covert
clandestine
military
spraying operation that everyone apparently is doing in the open.
Yeah. Tornado?
Yeah. Clandestine operation that's being filmed by everyone. Here's the thing, if it was so clandestine, you wouldn't be alive to talk about it.
Right.
Well, unless she thinks it's so brazen. Anyway.
Yeah.
What's with overpronouncing that syllable? Clandestine.
Yeah.
Makes me feel stupid.
She's sitting there saying, "Oh, it's all secret and whatnot." If it was so secret, they would have killed you before you could get the information out. It's that simple.
Right. All right. Let us continue on.
thing that I'm unable to get help from with anybody, and I've been doing this for years and years. It's going on.
You've been annoying for years.
I've already tried them. Yeah. Is there any number that you can refer me to?
Not with the chemist handy. Well, you know, the other thing is, what about, the private testing?
They said that I could actually have my test. I called NASA, and they're like, well, you can have your test analyzed, and you can bring us the results, but we can't prove that you didn't taint it, where you got the sample from, what caused that contamination. It's a wide variety of things. So the EPA themselves even told me that they would have to come out and get a sample, and then they would have to put that sample through Congress before they could even come back and act on it.
I'm not part of that problem. Don't blame me.
Yeah, the system has made it impossible for the people to protect themselves. All we want is clean air. I'm a voice, one of the many.
How likely is it that she's really contacted these people in the way that she is claiming?
Company that would come out to your property. Let's just say they took a couple ounces of your soil. They'd have to put it in a jar and do a chain of custody, meaning that they'd have to track that it goes from your yard to the jar, sealed to the lab, to a chemist. Because I used to, before I went to weather service, I used to work for Corning. And I was a lab technician, and we had to do that whole thing. Now, there's tons of private companies like that would come out and test your water and test your soil, and that's relatively inexpensive. And that way you get a tracking of custody.
Yeah.
Now, let's just say that stuff was falling from the sky. Then it's obviously hitting your roof, it's hitting your trees, it's hitting your yard, it's hitting you. The only way you can get a smoking gun is to have your soil tested, because let's say it's falling on.
I have soil, blood, hair, and water, and I actually brought them before the EPA in Washington, D.C. on live national television, and nothing happened.
Sounds like some kind of musical group, Blood, Hair, and Water.
It's Blood, Hair, and Water. Make a good rock band, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see what these tests were, Miss Madison Star Moon.
Yeah.
Because until I see what you've done,
she wants them to test them to show that the test that she hasn't done has the stuff that she insists that's in there. And if you test them and it doesn't have what's in there, then clearly you're part of the conspiracy.
Right.
Well, and she didn't even say that she brought test results. She just said she brought samples to Washington.
Yes, a sample. I mean, I could bring my toenails in, and and claim that the lunar space insects are contaminating my bathroom, but I don't expect anyone to believe that.
Yeah.
And I totally get the ass covering that like the EPA or whatever organization will want to do, where they'd want to come out and collect the sample themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if you just sent them a jar and said what's in here, they could probably be held liable somehow.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
They'd say, we don't know what's in the jar, and we're not going to open it because it could be something that we don't want to release into the atmosphere.
Right. Because, there could be, people that are crazy sending things in.
Like anthrax.
Right. Alrighty. Well, here we go. Let's do some more.
What did the results show, though?
The results showed high levels of barium, strontium, aluminum, mercury, lead, all kinds of crazy stuff, uranium.
Compared to what?
And
What
stuff.
does high level-
Nothing happened.
No,
Yes, Tornado?
citation fucking needed.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get any of those.
No.
I'm not expecting much.
I would also like to know what she defines as high level.
Yeah, well, that would be part of that information thing in this long video that she could be saying, here was the samples that I took here, and these are the readings that I got, and here is how we had them tested, and here's where we did them, and here's the numbers, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I mean, she could be making the numbers up, but at least we'd have something to work with. But all that is just a shot of the contrails of aircraft and her bold assertions and the poor hapless people that she's talking to, trying to figure out, can they put on the call music?
Right.
And this poor
Please hold.
okay.
Your call is very important to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're number 55 in our conspiracy line.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you have an actual concern, please call this number.
All right. Well, let's continue.
Because if she had already had detected levels, how did she do this? Why wouldn't she want to explain exactly how these levels were determined? What did she take? She must have taken them somewhere, or did she take them somewhere? There's a whole train of detail that we are missing in here. And I think that's because there was no train of things. But testing was what? How does one detect strontium at home?
That's a very good question. Does she have a spectrometer?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue on. I appreciate the stalling, but here we go.
That's interesting, though.
How long is it until you retire?
A long time.
You can't help me
No.
on the side?
No, I don't have the connections.
Wow,
Like that.
You're a
Drake.
meteorologist.
She wants a rogue meteorologist who plays
Yeah.
by his own rules. It's
Yeah.
like the worst movie ever.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of
Call me
Pseudoscience.
Maverick.
Wow. I mean, I'm just picturing the trench coat and the fedora and the, like, one of those little wheel doohickeys with the suction cup things on them that spins around,
Some classified ad says, have anemometer, will travel.
Oh, no. He can use a fidget spinner to make the measurements.
There you
Yes.
go. Wow, just that mental image. I mean, like, if it wasn't that sort of like hard-boiled detective type, I'm picturing like Axel Foley or like Martin Riggs or something. One of those. Did you predict the weather again? There was flooding in Des Moines. One of those deals. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whee! Maybe I've seen too many 80s movies. No, there's no such thing.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
grew up in the 80s, so that's all I saw.
Yeah, well, me too.
All right. Well, let us continue on.
Just at the National Weather.
Yeah, but see, we just look at the clouds and all that stuff. What it sounds like is you need an atmospheric chemist, and that's the thing. And I don't have any contact with that. This is a battle you're going to have to fight. And then I don't know other than getting. Now, when you say that you did the lab analysis, is that going to come up with the same type of stuff? Did the results say that the levels were of
Oh, yeah.
the
Said
in or
that-
out of tolerance for like human living?
Oh, yeah, like that hundreds of thousands of times in some cases. They
Whoa,
were just astronomical.
Drake!
Yep.
Yes, Tornado.
Again, citation fucking needed. Where was this test taken? How did you take this test? With what equipment? Do you have anything that I could possibly use to double check this?
The answer is no.
Did you set up any controls? Did you test a sample that was completely clean?
Yeah.
If the answer is no to any and or all of these questions, then your claim is invalid.
Just like a South citizen who's trying to argue the Constitution with the police officer on the side of the road here.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or try to discuss tax law with Kent Hovind.
Yeah. That too. Oh dear. All right. Well, let's see here. We're getting close. We only got about a minute. About a minute left.
Hey, I'm sure the footnotes will come in.
Yes.
And your local health department wasn't concerned about that?
I've gone through everybody, yes. I mean, if I brought forth this information on live national television to the EPA, the heads of the EPA, and they didn't do anything about it, what makes you think my local health department is? I mean, I already went to the health department first. They were one of the first people. It was going to be televised. I've had Wavy TV 10 News involved.
Until they found out that you were a
name
nut.
an avenue I haven't
Drink.
tried to exploit. And we've been overcast for.
I want a fucking
This-
link, bitch. Give me a fucking link to that so I can see it for myself.
Oh, but that would be giving too much information.
That would be
but-
giving me evidence. I want evidence for this bitch's claims. Otherwise, I will reject it offhand because
Doesn't
that
do
was
that. She
asserted
only does
without evidence,
accusations.
can be dismissed without evidence.
But didn't she say she did this on television? I mean,
Yeah. There's this fantasy
Well,
world
she
that it
probably-
sounds like she's been haranguing lots of people for many, many years and writing letters and contacting the NASA and so forth and so on in this fog bank of terror going on here. But if you had data, I mean, I see more attempts at documentation from the NAMI Noah's Flood bunch than we are getting from this lady.
well, and think about like if she's shopping this around to every government agency that might help her. Oh my gosh, the government is like conducting this conspiracy. Won't you, another government agency, help me? I mean, isn't that a little loopy?
Yeah. Oh, my.
Moist.
Yes, moist. Yes, that sums
Sorry,
it
there
up.
was a longer than normal silence. I figured I might as well go for broke.
Exactly.
Well,
Well,
Boy.
I was waiting.
more documentary material than we have achieved from this
Who's
entire
calling?
video. Well, let's wind this little puppy up.
So long every morning when I wake up, it's the same overcast. And then when the clouds part, there's that airplane emission right there in the
Oh,
middle.
boy.
You know, they're spraying above the clouds.
Well, this isn't a good example today because you've got weather actually coming up the coast. So, the snow is going to come from the cloud coverage. So this is legitimate weather. Now, and aircraft are still flying today. You just don't see them.
It's not the flying aircraft, it's the spraying aircraft. They're two different aircraft. There's normal
Drink.
aircraft and then
Ooh,
there's...
the spraying aircraft.
Yes, Tornado?
Oh, it's not the flying aircraft, it's the spraying aircraft that are also flying.
Yeah.
Because apparently this woman knows nothing about aerodynamics either. Oh my god, this bitch is totally ignorant on everything relating to the atmosphere, on everything
Tornado?
relating to meteorology, and on everything relating to aerodynamics. Woman,
think
before you start...
No, she's
before
not.
you
I don't
start
think
shooting
she's
your
saying they
mouth
aren't
off
flying.
on chemtrails, get a fucking clue.
Tornado, I think I figured it out. The spraying aircraft are using the 5G to hold them up in the air while they fly
Yeah.
or while they spray. As opposed to the flying aircraft, which use air to push the engines, and that's why you don't see anything. You can't see them.
Yeah.
And remember, they're unmarked aircraft that she has shown no pictures of.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Bionic Dance.
Yeah, well, she says she gets up every morning and sees the same contrail at the same time every day. It's almost like the airport runs on a schedule and it's the same flight that flies out of that airport at the same time every morning. I mean,
You're going
imagine.
to start cluttering up her dogmas with mere observation now.
Yeah.
I'm clearly a fool.
Hey, you're just
boy.
a spoiled sport.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if we can finish this out. We just got a little bit here.
Gosh, yes, I hope so.
And we got like 15 seconds, so we'll just finish it out and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
aircraft that are intentionally adding stuff to the atmosphere. It's ridiculous.
The atmospheric research people, and they might have some of that done some kind of work.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, the atmospheric research people, not meteorologists.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure she's annoyed them too.
Yeah, probably. Oh,
I wonder
boy.
how many times she's asked to see a supervisor.
Don't even joke about that. God, that
Too late,
I'm just
Tornado.
curious.
I started with a joke
Mhm.
about that.
Are these atmospheric research people headed up by Belu?
By what?
Oh God!
Probably.
All I heard was B-loop.
I said-
You don't know who Belu is, do you, Bionic Dance?
I guess I don't.
Alright, let me get this.
There was
pulled up.
actually a, quote, flat Earth documentary, unquote. What was it called again?
I don't know offhand.
I'm sure
I
it
don't
doesn't matter.
remember.
I don't follow Flurfers
Yeah.
at all.
Well, there was this pseudo documentary regarding the flat Earth, and towards the end of the documentary, it was either towards the end of the documentary or after the documentary was released, that the people who made the documentary, quote unquote, said that they got the information from a tiny alien in a bush known as Belu.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flat earthers ran with it until the Belu thing came out.
Uh-huh.
And it was revealed that when they released the Belu thing that the whole thing was just a massive troll.
Right.
Oh, I am shocked. Shocked to hear that.
Yeah.
Which led to memes among the community for a while, where people would
Imagine,
go,
flat earthers can be gullible.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, that was a lovely video.
Yes, it was so informative.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
told me things. I grew as a result of watching it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
My
let's.
mind has been opened.
There were some cute pictures of a stratotanker, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's spin our wheel
I think that
again.
was an A380.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sure, but I think Mars is one of mine.
wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it! This should be fun. Let's see what we do. Excuse me?
Mars.
Mars.
Oh no,
how
we
appropriate
lost.
to put Mars on the red.
Yeah. All
It was very
right.
symbolic of you.
Of course.
Yeah.
That was definitely my intention.
Yeah. The angry red video.
All right. This one.
How long is this one?
Actually,
Good
I
question.
think Mars has got to be one of my favorite closest planet from the planet suite.
Well, as among the small rocky planets, it's one of my favorites too.
This one is only about 3.5 minutes.
Yay!
Okay.
It will be compressed stupid.
Yeah. And this one is called Truth About Mars Has Revealed 2022.
I always like
Ooh.
Sailor Mars.
Wait, hold on. It says truth about Mars has revealed this year?
Has revealed
Yeah.
2022, indeed.
Yeah, I mean it's only January. They're really hot on the ball on this one.
So they revealed
Oh.
2022 to be 2022.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is they really were on the ball. I mean, they revealed the year before it started, just in time
Yeah.
for it to be there for us. If they hadn't discovered 2022, we'd be lost in some timeless void right now.
Yeah, we well, or worse,
Well,
we could have accidentally missed 2022 and gone right to 2023.
Oh, dearie me.
But we don't know it. Yeah. Now,
Moving on.
I'll tell you what. I'll predict the score of the Super Bowl before it happens. 0-0.
That will also work for an awful lot of soccer games.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right.
Okay, are we
Let's
stalling?
see here. Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Okay.
We're Lennon.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Stalin had a really pointy
Okay.
beard.
Anyway, let's find out all
Here
about
we
the
go.
truth from
Mars has
Mars.
revealed 2022. I did that when I changed my calendar. Anyway,
Corsair is here. Welcome to my new video. The day
This
has
is too
come.
close to my voice.
Something unbelievable happened about Mars.
Didn't we do this already?
Ohio University professor William Romasser analyzed a number of photos from various Mars rovers and found insect-like and reptile
Yes,
life
we did
forms
this already.
in the
Did we?
images.
I didn't think
appearing
we
to
did.
verify that.
Space nipples.
I don't think we did this one.
Yeah, we
No.
have even the space nipples comment was made last week. I swear.
I don't remember this one. Hold on.
Interesting little picture, though.
Let's see here.
Of course, Mars, as we know, is prone to an awful lot of clouds.
Yeah, because last week we
because
did
of all
we did
of
the lunar
chemtrails
hotels.
from the cedars that are flying around and polluting the Martian atmosphere.
Yeah, we did lunar hotels last week. Let me see. I don't remember this one, but I could be losing my mind. That's always quite
I'm wondering
possible.
if one of those is Olympus Mons.
Alright, let's see here.
You notice that how they love to not put provenance of the pictures that they put up? Just
Yeah.
kind of give you a sense of like, were these taken like at the same time or of something else and from where and when and so forth and
I
so
just thought
on.
of a bad joke.
Yes.
What is it called when a Martian volcano starts growing? Olympus Mons Pubis.
Okay.
That fell flat.
You were right in predicting that was going to be a bad joke.
Yes.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it, Tornado.
Okay, it's when a Martian volcano goes flaccid. It's called Olympus Mons Pubis.
If you need to put footnotes into the joke, you've lost it.
Yeah.
And it really was kind of a long walk for a short drink of water kind of joke anyway.
Yeah.
However, it is a wonderful respite from having to watch the video.
That's true.
Speaking of which, let's get on with that.
Yeah, I'm just making sure we didn't do this.
It's a shorty.
one.
Let's
I
get
don't
to
remember.
the momentous news, where apparently a picture of something shows something that he regards as fantastically momentous.
Right.
And space nipples.
Well, because I know we did the whole like insect-like creatures thing. I'm sure of it.
Well, that was a ways back.
Now,
Yeah, that was the.
Is
that
it
was
space
our
nipples
space,
or nipples in space?
nipples
I mean,
in
there is
space?
a difference.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Last week we just did aliens and hotel.
I won't even try to describe what the Val Marianus or whatever that is represents. If we're getting all sexual here.
All right. Well, let's see here. It's a short one at least anyway, so here we go.
Life exists on the Mars. As scientists scramble to determine whether there is life on Mars, his research show that we already have evidence, courtesy of photographs from the various Mars rovers, has spent several years studying photographs
instead
from
of
the red
circuit
planet
insect-like-
that
no,
are available
no.
on the internet.
No.
He found numerous
No.
examples of insect life forms, structures
No.
That
similar
doesn't
to
look like an
bees,
insect at all.
as well as reptile-like life forms.
Yes, tornado.
Pareidolia.
It looks
I
like
think that
badly
look-
written Hebrew letters, so clearly that's what they are.
I was going to say it looked like a
That's
phaser
all
from
that this
Star Trek
is.
original series, you know.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had a printout of this in a ballpoint pen so I could draw the weird goat shape I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. It looks like there's a giant aardvark right to the right hand, a big anteater with a little tail and all that kind of stuff that's wearing like armor.
Seriously, Pareidolia. That's all that this is. I've just debunked the entire video. We can gong it and move on.
We don't have to gong it. It's short enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Shut up, Meg.
Yeah, see, even the audience is saying that they remember this video.
Okay. Or is it that there was a time travel, time space anomaly thing where that took place?
Yeah,
Or-
last week we
or
definitely.
there wasn't.
Okay, that I do remember. You're right.
Are you saying,
that might have been
are
2
you
weeks
saying
ago.
a Mandela effect here?
Yeah. I don't remember it because I wasn't here last week.
Well, that would do it. Yeah, I don't think we. I don't think we did it last week. It may have been the week before, but no. But you are correct. I apologize. My bad.
May we stipulate that it was stupid?
Yes.
It was really dumb.
I mean, as is usual. So.
I
Okay.
mean, that thing by the tire tread sort of looked like the Space Weevil from Red Dwarf, but other than that,
Okay.
Oh, so hi, Sean Carroll.
And Red Dwarf, the television series, has vastly more science content than this video.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Plus a catchier theme song.
All right. Well, shall we spin again?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
spin it, and this
clean
time,
off another one
hopefully
of
we
them.
don't land on something we've already done before.
Hope not.
Maybe we could get a crossover between Red Dwarf and Blake 7.
So we've got Psycho, Photos, and Unseen.
Ooh.
You
All
look
right.
stupid.
The entire video is just blank.
Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it.
Da, 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 da.
Very funny. And we land on
Psycho.
Not psycho, pseudo.
From space.
Oh, pseudo. Oh well, it's hard to tell with these.
It's funny, like when I was on dial-up BBSs, everyone called their online name their pseudonym or pseudo for short. And then all of a sudden, everyone decides we're truckers and it's your online handle. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like telling people, yeah, that's my pseudo, just sounded so much cooler, like something out of a cyberpunk book. But now,
Right.
it's my handle. Okay.
All right.
So
and
what
this
is the
one,
full title of this extraordinary effort?
yeah, this one's called pseudo motion versus actual motion.
Ooh.
And this is by
I do pseudo motion a lot when I'm not moving.
I doubt your dedication to pseudo motion.
So pseudo motion uses potential energy?
Well, this one
uses,
is
it uses virtual fermions. Let's get really technical.
this one's by Effed Up World. So that's always
Oh,
fun.
not him again.
We haven't had one of his in quite some time, so
Is his name also Right the Hand?
I don't think so. This is just a EFTUP world. All right.
Anyway.
So has anyone seen the
the-
most recent version of, or the most recent episode of The Mandalorian? I mean, Boba Fett.
Did
No.
not see it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's a section where they get into techno babble.
Let's get on with it.
Indeed. All right. Let's see here.
What am I seeing?
No.
I'm not entirely sure yet.
Well, it looks like
All right. I think
bugs
we're
out
good.
in the snow.
All right. Here we go.
Good bugs on the
Okay.
windshield.
Okay, we're going outside.
Okay, so
The moon is up there,
Somewhere.
and it's pretty cold out.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Happens in the wintertime.
Oh,
See the
there it
moon?
is.
Oh, there's the moon.
see how tiny it is?
See that?
So
That's the
so
moon.
close. Look, you can just reach up and grab
It's
it.
in motion.
Yeah.
If I stood here long enough, it would keep moving to the right towards that little tree branch.
Uh-huh.
And it would continue, and it would go down over there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Because the
Southern
moon
Hemisphere.
is in motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know we were all trained to think that the opposite of what we observe is reality,
What?
but
What?
that's not the case.
What?
Drink.
No, we're trained to deal or be able to describe what we see.
Yeah. Tornado.
The moon is in motion. We can determine this using parallax. We can determine this using a point of reference like a star. And the moon will move with the sky, but it will also move relative to that star. And we can work out the moon's orbit. Gee, it's not like this is particularly easy or anything. Oh, wait. It is.
Well,
Yeah.
well, let's just get to the point where he actually offers a position.
Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna get there, but let's see what he
Yeah,
says.
he hasn't got to one yet.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
You can tell by my footsteps that it's cold out.
Goody gums. Okay.
Can you see to the right of the moon?
Goodbye.
There is
Skies, goodbye.
Jupiter.
Blue skies, goodbye.
See it?
Goodbye.
Uh-huh.
No,
Oh,
he's
that.
That would
hitting
mean
the right. Oh,
Saturn.
there's a star.
Would be
probably.
down, probably not even really visible yet, but it would be down to the right. I'm looking for it, I
To be
don't see it.
clearer.
Your point?
All of those are in motion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No one's disputing that.
Although
I just
the
want to remind
moon
people
actually
that
is orbiting the Earth, whereas the stars are relatively fixed.
if you get
objects,
in a
and therefore
debate
movement is because we're turning.
and you're going to choose the side of the Earth rotating, you're going to lose that debate.
Okay.
Drink.
See this part of
No. Sorry. That's just not how it works. Obviously, we're not going to object to the fact that the moon is in motion, that Jupiter is in motion, that Saturn is in motion as well. We're not going to object to that. Because we can demonstrate these. We've calculated their orbits. Oh, and that thing about Earth, we can also see that the Earth rotates through various methods, like parallax, and we can also tell that the Earth moves, again, through parallax. Another fun way of determining Earth's rotation is through diurnal aberration, and this is detectable, but it is a pretty major feat to do. I don't have the technical knowledge on how to describe that, but parallax should be easy enough that even you could probably do it, Mr. F'd Up World. So, just please, remove your head from your ass and learn some basic trigonometry.
Yeah, I'm just not real sure what
Chris,
his
you okay?
point is yet.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, I don't think he's going to get to one.
No?
He is sort
darn.
of slow walking there, if there is a
Yeah,
point.
Scrunch,
exactly.
scrunch, scrunch.
Well, and I mean, like, okay, I want to make a prediction that he's going to try to say that because the moon and Saturn don't move at the same rate, that this somehow proves or disproves something, because they should be moving at the same rate, because they're both circular objects in space somewhere, I bet.
Now, I wonder if he actually tracked planet and saw it doing a retrograde. It would blow his mind.
Gosh, that would involve him actually doing telescopic research, right?
I saw
Right.
Mars that once in Missouri.
I lost my panel. Hold on. I lost you guys.
Well, that
Yeah.
is sparing us
I'm
for the
over
moment the
here.
horror of having to continue to watch the show.
Well, that's true.
Let's move on with the stupid.
Hold on. I'm fixing the panel. Fixing it. There we go. I think that's better.
Broke.
Okay, there we go. For some reason, every once in a while, the panel window just disappears.
Well, but it's got good sense. It's the poor window. It's got all this stuff going on. It's just, what are you using me for?
Right.
On with the stupid.
Have you no shame?
Apparently not. Alright, here we go.
the Earth, this part that we build the building on, the part that you've lived on your whole
Say
life,
that it
that part does not move, ever, unless there's an earthquake. That's why an
Drink.
earthquake's called an earthquake.
Relative to you, yes,
Yes, Tornado.
that is true.
Relative to you, this is true.
I've heard that before.
But here's the thing. We can again measure Earth's rotation. We can measure it also through the Coriolis effect. You know how snipers have to correct for the rotation of the Earth? Yeah, that's a thing. We can also determine it using the Otvos effect. And we can measure our weight between the equator and more northern or southern latitudes.
Those are all measurements,
doable.
Tornado. He's not going to do that.
No. Certainly not.
I'm telling you,
Exhausting.
this can all be measured. And it is trivial to do so.
Yep.
Moving on.
Chris?
Yeah. So let's do a little thought experiment here. You're traveling in a car. I would do this if I was actually in my car at this point, but then I'd probably get pulled over for distracted driving anyway. But let's say we're in the car, and in your hand you have a ball. Okay, you're not driving, so it doesn't matter. You're not going to run off the road unless your driver decides to kill you both. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is, that ball, relative to you, is not moving. Okay, because you're holding it still in your hand. However, that ball, to an observer outside the car, is now traveling in a specific direction at a specific velocity.
That was a good try, but for it to be a thought experiment, he has to be able to think.
Yes, you are.
Well,
you
that's
are having
true.
us an assumption in here that we have not yet seen evidence of.
Yeah.
Just wait till you get to relativistic speeds, where energy becomes a part of the mass.
Oh, if he can't grapple poor Galileo and company, he's not going to make it to Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Moving
true.
on.
All right. Well, here we go.
Because it's moving. The ground moves. Other than that, it's not moving. So, take another look at the moon.
It's really moving.
It's moved a
slowly.
lot since I'm not standing maybe in the exact same spot, but
or why does it look like the moon?
it's moved a lot since I've taken this video.
More
3 minutes and
model
10
that
seconds.
he's never going to think through.
Yeah.
So, if we were going to be doing science, we would, first of all, we would make a note that the lights in the sky all circle above our heads, above the surface of the ground, that we would also observe to be not moving.
Drink?
Yes, Chris?
Oh, my.
Circle above our heads? What?
He thinks that the planets don't actually go like below the horizon relative to us. He thinks they're always visible somewhere.
And there is no world beyond the snowfall.
Basically, this guy is the.
I've been part of this community for many years. You'd think I would be used to this stuff by now.
Yeah.
Basically, what he's doing is he's saying, "Oh, it's all flat and it all circles above our heads." Except, again, we can measure various aspects of Earth's rotation, and we can demonstrate it to be rotating through different means. If the Earth is not rotating, how do hurricanes work?
Right.
Did you see Blue Marble Science's thing on trigonometry? And you don't need triangles to have do trigonometry. It was very, very good.
Yeah.
Now remember, there have always been such stupid people, except before cell phones and the like, they didn't have a capacity to post things for everybody to see. So the experience of bumping into people like this was less easy to do in the ancient times. Now we all have the wonderful advantage of being able to see these things really up front.
I remember a saying
I have to
from
say,
my
like,
childhood that said, if you it's better to be quiet and have people think you a fool than open your mouth and prove them right.
Right.
I have to admit, the ancient practice where like people would just be screaming on the street about this, that, or the other religious thing or like pseudoscience-y thing. It's kind of a shame, actually, that we don't have that, because it'd be fun to just watch them and laugh.
Yeah, it's the old British thing of the guy in Hyde Park on top of the soapbox screaming about fill in the blank. or the old ones, the old flat earthers in the 19th century that would do up little hand-done little pamphlets that they would be passing out at church, all of that kind of a thing. Yeah, but now they they can do high quality video of stupid.
I have
the closest we have to that these days is like the Westboro Baptist Church, and that's like it.
I have the quote. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and to remove all doubt.
Right. Oh dear. All right.
Well, I mean, could be like Brian, just be trying to yell out the philosophy so that the Romans don't suspect your.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to this guy who he must think he's terribly novel in doing this little video, that he has come up with this incredible, he's figured out the snag in all of their thinking, and his camera can do it. I can go out there in the snow and there it is. Yeah. Okay, now I've done it.
I don't even think he's using a P9000 or P900.
P900.
Well, you can't do science without your P9000. We all know that.
Oh dear.
And he lives in the same century as people who have functioning brain stems.
I know, right? All right, here we go.
The idea that you could be in a moving train or on a merry-go-round and blindfolded and not know you're moving doesn't lend any credit to your fairy tale.
Drink?
Oh, dear.
Yes, tornado.
Actually, you're wrong. And the fact is, the thing what you just said is so wrong, it's not even funny.
It's a little bit funny.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit funny, but he just described what we experience on Earth and says it's a fairy tale. He's basically saying, oh, this whole, you could sit on a train that's without any turbulence and think you're not moving, but it doesn't validate your fairy tale. Then you have to show proof of this.
Right.
You have to demonstrate that the difference between northern and southern latitudes is fake. You have to demonstrate that the Coriolis effect doesn't work, which of course means you have to demonstrate that hurricanes don't work, which of course means you have to demonstrate that low and high pressure systems don't work, which basically means that meteorology itself doesn't work.
Pretty much.
Well, we just saw in the last video that meteorology can't do anything.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right. Well, RJ, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I have empirical verification that this guy suffers from cranial blockage of the rectum. When I was coming back from Whidbey Island last October on the ferry boat, there was absolutely no sense of motion whatsoever on that boat. And the only time I realized that I was almost back to the dock on the mainland was the fact that I could suddenly see the buildings and lights out the porthole that I had skipped completely. I had no idea that we'd already taken off from the pier.
Right.
So this guy apparently doesn't travel much.
And you know when you're in one train and there's a train next to you and one of you starts moving but you don't know which?
Yeah. I mean, I even feel that like in a car sometimes. Like if I just park and somebody starts backing out next to me, and you get that feeling like, oh,
You're
shit, am I
slamming on the
rolling?
brake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and extremely smooth trains are ones that you might not have a sense of motion. You're usually so attuned to all the little background. You have the background sounds of the train going off and so forth. But nonetheless, he could easily perform the experiment. And Chris just gave a perfect example of it, that the ball doesn't seem to be in motion, but yet is obviously in motion of the thing going by, independent of whether the ball can feel that it's moving or not.
Right. All right.
Silly people. And there's a reason why these people have not developed a science that has led to anything other than the ability to walk across their snow yard.
And go, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Stick their fingers in their ear and go, nope.
Serenian has it right. The merry-go-round would be moving at 0.0007 revolutions per minute. We cannot feel that accelerating.
And you want a frightening thought? This guy may very well vote.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I have a feeling this guy may have enough convictions under his belt that he can't vote.
Well, that's
Well,
true.
one can only hope.
All right, let's continue on.
It doesn't help you out. It's just an excuse that you want to make.
No.
Forget about the merry-go-round. Forget about the moving train or the jet with no windows. And look at the ground. This is the part that is not in motion. Still, stable, just like the Bible says.
Drink!
That it be not.
Yes, Tornado.
My book.
No, he went right. He went right to it. He went to the holy book.
Yeah.
Congratulations. The Bible is not a science text, and you're using it as a science text, which basically means you've just invalidated your whole point. The Bible is not a fucking science textbook. You shouldn't use the Bible when it comes to science.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I love how he says that, oh, you're just making an excuses, while saying that's what the Bible says. So
Right.
he's performing a double standard. That's the double standard fallacy.
Sorry,
So
Mr.
it's
Galileo's
not
ahead of
okay
him.
to do it, but it's perfectly okay for you to do it.
Right.
Special.
Bionic Dance.
Well, it wasn't worth a drink call, but Tornado did it. I think I'm getting closer to being right about him saying that, like the moon and Saturn moving at different rates is somehow either a problem or a benefit. Because he just cited the Bible. I'm guessing he believes in the firmament. And
Yeah.
so, like, the moon
Oh.
and Saturn are probably stuck to it.
One does not follow the other in all cases.
No,
But in this case, I totally agree with you.
right.
Oh dear.
Okay, we're running out of time for the science.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got plenty of time. He's got almost 2 whole minutes. He's gonna get all that science in
Oh.
there.
I mean, he's
Move.
been trying to put up science. He just hasn't been very successful.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Obviously, there's earthquakes. But
You can't get past the earthquake thing. That's not.
It's a simple
Earth
thing.
moves.
and you can't
Did the
win the
Earth move
debate.
for you?
The
Well, I'm an
luminaries,
idiot like you.
the lights in the sky,
Yeah.
You're
are in
unpersuadable.
motion. Everybody knows this too. So
Well,
I don't know why
everybody
anybody
does.
would
Yes, okay.
debate it. Oh wait, I do know why.
What?
Because you're in love with a lie, and you must be
What?
rotating,
Oh, my
Drink.
goodness.
right?
Yes, Tornado.
What?
Pissed
He
off
goes
tornado.
He goes from it's a fairy tale to you're in love with a lie. He is asserting that there is a massive conspiracy to hide the shape of the earth.
He's in your head, tornado. He knows what you secretly believe.
Oh, it
But-
gets even better because this conspiracy would involve every satellite technician, every meteorologist, every navigator, every pilot, every crewman on every
And he could
yacht,
say,
airplane,
and your
every
point
airline
is?
passenger. It would literally involve so many people that the people who are seeing through the basically at what point they're so sheerly outnumbered by the mark. It doesn't make any sense. At what point does the
Wait,
amount of people
Tornado,
that you know,
Tornado, wait. Did you expect
just-
it to make sense? Did you expect it to make sense?
Yeah, that's the
I
problem right
want to
there.
know where the royal sisters live. I mean, they're the ones that are controlling the sun and the moon. So, I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of people that would be in on the conspiracy would make it so that the conspiracy could not be hidden for even a single year.
Mhm.
We're talking at least 1.8 billion people in
Right.
Unless all of those people are also being duped. I mean, you know, that's probably part of it where he's thinking that there's, 6 or 7 shadowy people in some really high-tech looking room out of a bad Bond movie who are controlling all of these people. Like, it's only those 6 or 7 folks who know the lie, and all of the other people you're talking about have bought into it. Like,
You mean
they're
Moonraker?
gullible too.
Yeah, for the conspiracy mind, it's easy to deal with. And if you have to think about things like how many people actually are involved in the conspiracy people don't actually get that far in their thinking as a rule. They just have the mysterious they. The lady in the previous video was doing the same kind of a thing. It's never going to become specific. That's not how they work. Although they're starting to work out more about what's going on in the heads of people, what brain systems and that are lighting up. The poor little fellow. But at least maybe he's able to shovel part of his walk and not be a complete nuisance.
Well, and I have to admit that it does sound like a lot of fun to live in the world that these people think exists. It sounds
It's dramatic,
really
isn't it?
exciting. So I can understand the allure. It's just too bad it's bullshit.
Right.
It's a conspiracy. C-O-N.
Conspiracy.
Seriously, though, the amount of people that have to be in on it
Yeah.
would make it so that the odds of keeping the conspiracy hidden for even a year would be totally would basically be smaller. 5 times it'd be 5 times less likely for this conspiracy to go on for any length of time without someone blowing it wide open than it would be for me to wake up tomorrow morning with the fucking Mega Millions jackpot.
A good shadow
Which
villain
is
keeps
what,
a
over
tight
400
rein on their
million now?
minions. I'm sorry, but
Right.
the secret could be kept with adequate mind control.
Yeah.
Moving on. I think we
All right.
on.
Here we go.
Well, it could be that we're rotating. And we wouldn't feel it. Yeah, you wouldn't feel it, just like it's stationary like it is. Right?
So down and
But we
rotate.
can still measure
Remember that I'm the one here, or my side of the argument here, has the evidence. You're living on it, you remember? You live on the
Drink
earth
set up a
where
Foucault pendulum
that's
bucket.
the evidence that it's stationary.
Drink.
And
Yes, Tornado.
Oh, you're living on my evidence. In other words, I can just make a claim and you have to accept it. Otherwise, basically, he's sitting there saying, "Oh, it's stationary," and this is my and
Well,
everything.
because you're in love with the lie, the tornado. Don't you know that?
Well,
I
it's
want
no
him to bring
different.
evidence for his claim.
It's no different at all than the people who say, "What, you want evidence of God? Just look around you at this beautiful world." It's the same argument.
Yeah, it's literally the same argument. It's an argument from ignorance.
And you have to
Basically,
admit, he's pretty ignorant.
He's sitting there saying, "I don't have to bring any evidence because it validates itself." That is not how science works. If you're going to make a positive claim, you have to bring positive evidence. And that which is asserted without evidence will be dismissed without evidence.
Oh dear. All right.
Well,
Well,
let's have him wind this
Yeah.
up, because so far he's just basically said the Earth isn't moving.
Yeah.
So there. So what
Yeah.
else can he say?
And he's said it twice as well.
Well, if you say it often enough, it must be true.
Of course.
Well, if he says it 3 times, does Jeranism show up?
Yeah. oh, I hope not.
that would be scary.
That would be pretty gicky.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Actually, most of the flurfers
Right now-
seem to
sorry.
be ones that have problems in a variety of areas that you don't really want to be within the same state.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Cernian says, Bob Nodal demonstrated a 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob.
All right. Well, let's continue on.
The energies.
Yeah.
now I'm
We'll have it
taking
all
video
worked
evidence
out here.
of the moon in motion. So these are 2 observations that it would be ridiculous for you to, first of all, call it science and say that you're on a rotating sphere.
Drink.
That's not science. That's pseudo.
Yes, Chris.
Drink.
Okay, going back to my relative motion thought experiment with the ball. Now let's say we're on this train that he says that doesn't make a difference. And you're looking out the window and you see a crossing gate. And it goes by. at a relatively decent size, decent amount of speed. Okay, is the gate moving? Are you moving? And the gate's staying still.
Well, I think a better question is, shouldn't it be like a family member on the train instead of you? Because we are talking about relative motion.
Yeah, it has to be a relative.
Very funny. And
I'm trying to figure out how I can work
And
the joke in.
and if they're not a relative,
Einstein's,
then it's
with the
irrelevant and
twin paradox,
immaterial.
but
Yeah.
You know, I mean, acquaintance motion isn't really a thing.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
oh, and Armageddon Fire has it best. When you were mentioning the 6 or 7 people in the shadow government, a president couldn't even hide a fucking blowjob.
Yeah.
He
Or a
couldn't.
blue dress.
Bill Clinton couldn't receive fellatio and keep it a secret.
Oh, but you see, Bill Clinton was on the wrong side. It was the Illuminati, the secret cabal that revealed the blowjob as
yes,
revenge, as
Yeah.
a way to stop him.
Johnson
Something
was
like
behind the
that.
Kennedy murders, so
You see. You know,
See,
it's
the one nice
funny
thing about
how
being a
easy it
conspiracy
is to
theorist
make
is
up
there's
your own
always an out.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
that's right. The Illuminati are the ones that killed Lincoln. That's right. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh dear. All right. Well, let's see if we
I
can
remember
finish
that
this one out.
documentary, Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh yes, yes.
All right. Here we go, guys.
Science, that's religion. You have
Drink.
faith in a lie. So
stop.
there you go.
Drink.
No, not drink on
See the
that.
moon.
Hold on. Let's finish it
Guys,
out.
let
Might
the
be
little
slow,
guy
might take a
go.
while. But I have telescopes and I look up at the sky a lot. And I've
Oh,
noticed
apparently you don't learn anything
that
from
if any
them.
of you are thinking that that's because you're rotating on a sphere, you need to look down at the what you call a sphere and what you think is rotating, because it's not.
Wait, drink.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he exactly expecting? That you standing on the Earth, it'll somehow spin around you? I mean, if he really does think that, I mean,
Well, if you have vertigo, I
I'm
guess.
trying to picture what he's picturing. If there's an Earth that's spinning, that you could look at it and see it spinning while you're standing on it. How the
Right.
frick?
Man, that would be going real fast.
and it
But the
gets even worse.
the thing, I did this in 3rd grade because I was having a hard time trying to figure out how the motion of the sun across the sky made sense if we were on a globe spinning around. So I took a look at the globe in my classroom, and I had to use my brain a little bit here and say, okay, well, the scale is really weird, okay, because I can see all of North and South America at the same time here. So my scale would be really, 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 really tiny. Okay, so
Right.
that's what's going to look like when I'm there. Then I started turning the globe, and I had a light pointed out off to the side, pointed at the globe, and I spun it around. And put my head behind the globe and watch it. And I said, that makes so much more sense now. Third grade, people. 3rd grade.
Yeah. Oh dear. And Tornado.
When he decided to say, you have a religion, you have faith in a lie. That is such bullshit right there. That the fact that he used the word faith in there, it's disingenuous, and it's yet another thing. He basically committed the two quo flee fallacy, and again, we can demonstrate that Earth rotates through use of the Coriolis effect and through measuring weight at the equator and at higher latitudes, like say 45 degrees north or 45 degrees south. People have done this sort of experiment.
Right.
It's easy to do. You fucking moron. And you can't just go in and say, oh, you have faith in order to try and guilt trip someone.
Well, apparently you can. He just did it.
Okay,
it's phenomenally bad reasoning. And if he's going to say that, if he's going to make the claim that we have faith in something that is, quote, a lie, then why is he using the Bible in his argument?
Right.
Oh, I can answer that. I answer that many times in my videos. They use the whole "you have faith" argument just as a way to shut us up. It's a way of saying, look, you're arguing against something you do yourself, so you're clearly hypocritical, so shut up.
Yeah, well, guess what? It's not gonna work.
Well, of course not.
I don't play that game. I don't play by his rules. I play by the rules of science.
Right.
So
you reject his reality and insert your own.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, I think we are going to wrap it up here for the evening. I'm pretty tired. I fell asleep
I'm
before
trying to
movie
figure-
night.
What does the pirate kitty say?
Meow.
No, it would have to say arg or some sort of
Yeah.
arg?
RJ, you had your hand up?
Yes. I just had this horrifying thought of how amusing it would be if this little guy was locked in a room with Kent Hovind and you, Ross, and they have to work out some consensus points, and they won't be released until they do, and they can throw their biblical certainties at each other, mutually contradictory.
Well, my big worry is that when you finally open the door, the cat might be alive or dead.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm still kind of bummed out about Jordan.
Yes.
That clip. So.
Indeed. Let's see here.
Does anyone actually have any information on what happened?
No, we still don't have anything new.
Not yet. Probably not going to hear
Well,
anything.
gosh, that was certainly a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, with that, everybody, we are going to wrap it up here for the evening. So thank you all for coming out. I do appreciate you. Yeah, I fell asleep before movie night because I was very, very tired. I woke up with a kitty on me, and I had to commit a sin and move the kitty that was sleeping on me. So that was horrible. So I am going to head out for the night, and I think we're going to wrap it up. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you all. And
Were birds making a whole bunch of noise or anything like that?
No, I just haven't been sleeping great. Work is still kicking my ass. I'm still doing a shit ton of overtime, so it's just been fun. So with that, everybody, good night. I thank you all for coming out, and say good night, panel.
Good night,
Good night, panel.
Don't accept any wooden
Everybody
penguins.
stay safe.
I managed to get my